Thank you for joining me in this video covering interacting with iCON. In this video, we will discuss the basics of interacting with map views, screen prompts, and toolboxes. You will not need your tablet or total station for this video, as I will only be presenting information about how the software reacts to your input. As I open each of the 5 principal applications, note that I am always presented with the map view. Each application will present tools available for that application on the main screen. Informational prompts requesting information required to complete the functions of the application, and a toolbox in the lower left corner of the screen which has additional tools related to that application. First, let's discuss how to interact with the map. Since the tablet is a touchscreen system, it can be interacted with much like a smartphone or iPad. Zooming in and out can be done using 2 fingers in a pinching motion, but this can cause accidental selections. The zoom out and zoom in magnifying glasses in the lower right corner of the screen are more effective and efficient once users understand how they work and how the software responds. For example, by pressing the zoom in button, iCON zooms in on the center of the screen, regardless of where the points and lines are. This can be time consuming as your data will disappear from the screen if it's not in the center. To use the button correctly in this situation, press and hold the zoom in button until it turns green. Now, instead of zooming into the center of the map, iCON will zoom in wherever you touch with your finger. So if I am trying to zoom in on a specific point, it will follow my touch directly to where I intend. To remove the green, tap the zoom in button and you will return to normal function. For zooming out, if you wish to zoom out to see the entire building, press and hold the zoom out button. This will automatically snap you to the extents of your building. You may also tap the zoom out button to zoom out in increments. In the upper left corner of the map, you will find the north arrow, the scale bar, and 2 options for changing how you interact with the map. The north arrow is showing you the current relationship of the building to the tablet screen, not necessarily true north. The arrow's direction can be changed to suit your needs and will be covered in another video. The scale bar is like a map or blueprint scale. As you zoom in and out, you will see that it adjusts to represent a distance in relationship to a measurement on the screen. If I were to measure the distance between the 2 tips of the scale bar anywhere on the screen, it would represent the distance noted in the scale. The upper of the 2 map interaction buttons allows me to move about the screen in a 2-dimensional method, much like a smartphone. By pressing my finger and sliding in the direction I wish to move, I will navigate the drawing around the tablet screen. The lower of the 2 allows me to rotate my data 3-dimensionally. iCON functions with 3D models, which is why they've given us this option. Note that as I spin the data, the north arrow changes to show me where north is as I rotate. To return to normal view, touch the 2-dimensional button and then the north arrow after that. Next, let's go over a few of the tools that are available within the applications. If I go to As Built, in the lower right corner of the screen, I'm presented with Code, Point ID, and Start. If you press and hold over the area of those buttons, you will be taken to a screen that allows you to change those buttons or the order they appear in. Please note that this option is available on any map view if it has any buttons in that area of the screen. For example, let's go into checks. Pressing and holding in that area produces the same results. Typically, the only 3 you will need are Point ID, Start, and Code. This can be set to any combination necessary for the task at hand. Now we'll go over the prompts. Depending on the application you are using, iCON will request certain information from you for it to be able to complete tasks. In some of the applications, once you've started a task, it will give you feedback regarding the task you're performing. Let's go into layout points for an example. In the upper right corner of the screen, it's asking me to select a point to stake out. If I switch over to layout lines, it asks me to select points, line, or arc to stake out. Within checks, it asks me to select or measure points and lines to check geometries. Notice that iCON will always tell you what it needs you to do, and it will always be in the upper right corner of the screen. Pay attention to these prompts as you're learning how to use the applications. Let's return to layout points and select a point to see what information iCON gives us once we're in a task. Automatically, the prompt will change to information regarding the point I selected and the method I must take to arrive at that point. By clicking Start, I will cause the software to begin giving me live feedback on my movements. Notice that the prompt information changed. On the right side of that prompt, note the little arrow. If I click that, I can cycle through the information iCON has available regarding that point and my ability to find and store that point. Now, by pressing and holding on the prompt, I am taken to a screen that allows me to change the information provided in those default pages or create my own new pages. I'll scroll down and click on page 5. On the right side at the top, I'm allowed to choose which cell of the page I will be presenting information, and below that I'm allowed to choose what information will fill that cell. Normally you won't have any reason to change anything here, but you should know that it's available. I encourage you to flip through the pages while you're laying out to begin learning the different information iCON presents to you. Finally, let's cover the toolboxes. For the purpose of this video, I want to show you that each application has its own tool set relevant to the application you're in. Let's cycle through all 5 applications and open all their toolboxes. I will cover most of these tools in future videos as I go in depth into each application individually. I encourage you to watch the upcoming videos related to those applications to learn how the tools work. This concludes the video covering interacting with iCON. Please join me in the next video where we will go over the Edit Points button.